Hello everyone, my beautiful dream bees, welcome back. Today's video is going to be talking about being a yoga teacher. So yoga teacher tips, what are ways that you can be the best yoga teacher? This is something that is very personal. We're all gonna have different opinions on what we find speaks to us as a yoga teacher or as a student. So I'm just gonna give personal tips based on my experience as a teacher, as well as some return that I've heard from students on ways that you can really give your students the best experience possible. As well, it's important to grow along the way. Your yoga practice is something that is just for you, but your yoga teaching practice is supposed to be beneficial for your students. So let's get into it. My first tip is to truly be yourself. Now, we always say, be yourself, be true to yourself, but what does this mean as a yoga teacher? I personally think it means to find out, why do you do this job? So why did you choose in the first place to be a yoga teacher? What are you trying to fulfill within, and what are you trying to give? So me personally, I chose to be a yoga teacher because I really felt that it was the best way that I could serve my community. It was the best gift that I could give, was by using my talents and my knowledge and giving back. And the moment I started doing that, I started to really feel fulfilled, not just in my life, but within myself. I felt that this was where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be helping people little by little every day, even if it was just to give them a space to be quiet, give them a space to forget the world and just focus on their bodies, maybe release some of their pains. All of those things really made me so happy and grateful to be a yoga teacher. So once you find your purpose, it's going to be a lot easier every day to show up as that authentic self. So you are coming every day as your biggest and brightest self because you know exactly why you are here on the mat teaching. So continue to be true to your voice. Don't try to take things that you hear other people say. Try to really speak from a place within. So you're telling people based on your experiences, you're telling people things that you truly believe in. When I take yoga classes, sometimes you can hear a lot of the same words being repeated, and sometimes it's very effective, and sometimes you can feel that's not coming from a true place. Maybe they've heard that kind of word before and they're trying to use that imagery, but you can feel that the teacher almost doesn't believe it. And that's just an example. There's so many teachers that once they speak from the heart, that information just sinks in and you just know that they believe every word that they say. So my next tip is to really focus on your strengths and weaknesses as a teacher. So what are you good at? And what do you really struggle with, or you feel that you personally need to work on? Now, when you're asking yourself, what are your strengths? Try to keep it simple. Focus on, do you have a naturally soft voice? Do you have an easy way with words? Are you very good at imagery? Are you good at cueing quick and effectively your yoga flow? Do you have a vast knowledge on yoga history? Are you passionate about philosophy? All these things are going to come into your class. So whatever you are passionate about and whatever you feel is your strength, bring that into your class. That's how you're going to find your unique touch. So I try to bring my example. Me personally, I have a background in dance. So sometimes I can really introduce that fluidity and creativity in my yoga flows. I like to sometimes play music during meditation or even during the yoga flow, and it inspires me from my past, and I like to bring that into the flow. It can be as simple as my voice. I've heard that I can have like a soft and calm voice, so I try to really use that to my advantage in the meditation, really use the best voice that I possibly can. If we're talking about our weaknesses as a teacher, remember that those weaknesses are what makes you human and what makes you relatable to your student. As a yoga teacher, you're not pretending that you're this all-knowing thing, that you are telling them because you know more than them. No, really remember that you are just all coming together as people trying to share a beautiful moment. You can share your insights, but don't feel scared to share your weaknesses. You know, if you're not very flexible, tell them in your yoga class, hey, I'm not very flexible. This posture is very difficult for me too. And automatically they're going to feel just a bit more comfortable. They're going to feel more connected to you. The closer that you feel to your students, the more they're going to trust you, and the more that they're going to put their guard down and just enjoy themselves during their practice. So remember, your weaknesses can be just as much a part of your gift. It can be that little thing that makes someone appreciate you for. My next yoga teacher tip is that remember, you are not a doctor, you are not a healer, you are definitely not a guru. So bring that into your practice with a sense of simplicity and take precaution. I think it's very important to remind people, of course, all the precautions for certain yoga postures or breathing techniques, so that way they can really pay attention to their own bodies. And as well as, you may have a vast yoga knowledge, but every person is different. You don't know their medical history, you're not a doctor, you need to be making sure that everyone is having a safe practice. When I teach, I always remind people that they can feel their bodies, and I can't feel what they're going through. Physically, I don't know how that posture makes them feel. Emotionally, I don't know what they're going through, and I can't imagine what they're feeling in certain moments during their yoga class. So remind them that they can be their best teacher, they can listen to their bodies, they can really get in tuned to every feeling. And the more that they know themselves and the more that they know their bodies, the better it's going to be for their practice. So the more I understand my pains, my aches, my weaknesses in my yoga practice, the more I can help myself get better. And I always take that into my own practice as well. The more I understand, okay, I struggle on the right side, I'm very tight in my right hip or in my right psoas, therefore I might be compensating on the left side. I tend to get pains in my neck and it goes down into my shoulders. The more I get to know myself, the more I take care of myself, the more I protect my articulations, my joints. This is all so important when it comes to teaching. You want to make sure that everyone is safely practicing. So remember, this is a saying that happens with a lot of athletes, don't work hard, work smart. And yoga is the biggest example of that. Don't be pushing them to their limits. You don't know what they're feeling, what they're going through. Allow them to work smartly. You are giving them the space and they're going to work smartly. My next tip is to keep your environment positive. Now, try not to bring this into a level of overly positive. I want you to be true to yourself. Don't fake any emotions. Don't be overly smiley if it's a day that you're feeling calm, or maybe you're menstruating and you're not feeling to be overly bubbly. Positive does not have to mean what we think it means in society, where you have to smile 24/7, you have to talk really loud. Try to keep it positive in a way that there's no judgment. People are coming and you accept them for what they are. You accept their energy coming in, you try to help them a little bit, and you let their energy be a little bit better going out. So use words that are positive to you, words that speak true to you. Smile, but in a way that is authentic and in a way that really shows that you care about the person, not just smiling to smile. Smile because maybe they said something that resonates with you. Smile to show them that you're happy that they're there. I think we forget to show the students how grateful we are that they are there. It is because of them that we can even have a career like this. So smile and say, oh, I'm so happy to see you today. How are you? How was your day at work? It can be just a little sentence that really makes them feel that they are appreciated. And in this world, it is so nice to connect with others and to feel that you appreciate their presence. I know I love it when someone says, oh, hey, or even mention them by their name. Say, oh, hey, Susan, how are you doing today? How was your work? Did you have a nice weekend? And sometimes they'll open up and you'll feel just all the more closer to them. And it really opens for a sense of community. going along with the sense of a positive space on the days that you're feeling low or it's hard for you to show up as your best self, remember that this space is also for you. So use the space and remind yourself, okay, I'm here, my purpose is to serve. I'm going to try to get myself to a place where I can be the best teacher that I can today. Maybe yesterday you were in a better mood, that's totally okay. Accept your own feelings as well, but use that sense of purpose to show up for them. Even when it's hard to show up for you, I mean, you always have to remember showing up for yourself is the most important, but that little boost can kind of help you. There are days where I'm tired, I don't want to get out of bed, and the moment I start seeing my students coming in, showing me kindness, showing me their determination and their motivation for their practice, I immediately feel more energized, less tired, and sometimes I end my day feeling great. And I'm like, wow, thank goodness for that practice, because now I feel so much better. I remember why I'm here, and I'm going to help them as much as I can. This next tip is my absolute favorite. Since I started teaching yoga, I have learned how important it is not to judge people by their appearance. So sometimes you will get students coming in, and just based on the way they look, maybe you think, oh, they're not very athletic, or oh, maybe they're not very spiritual. Refrain from any judgment. Truly, it is only going to hold you back from connecting with people, and it's not coming from a good place. Allow everyone to be exactly as they are. Of course, keep your environment respectful, make sure people are polite, but I have had the most wonderful surprises of people coming into my class and me thinking, oh, they don't look very friendly. And over time, those were the students that ended up becoming my favorite people that I could connect with, that ended up becoming close friends, that ended up being the most motivated and dedicated, that ended up inspiring others in the class. So don't judge people from the way they look today. Don't think, oh, they don't like me. The worst is to start attaching yourself as a teacher to, oh, I don't think that they like me. Don't even think about it. Give all you can, show up 100%, give your heart, and just let them be. And sometimes it is just your energy and your practice that's going to change the vibe, that's going to change the energy. And sometimes those people may have an appearance on the outside, and on the inside they are warm and loving and fuzzy, and they're just waiting for that opportunity to open up and to show it. So just observe. Sometimes maybe journal after a class and be like, oh, I saw how this person just changed after this type of class, or maybe they were having a hard day, and after the class they kind of look a little lighter, feel a little lighter. And my last tip is to use your intuition, to use your instincts. This, I think, is something that will grow naturally as you teach yoga. You're going to start to feel your students and your community. If you have the same people always coming in every day, you're going to start to get to know them. You're going to get to know those looks on their faces. You're going to start to understand, oh, I think they look a little more tired than usual. Maybe they need this type of flow. Now, your intuition is something you practice throughout yoga, really getting that energy up into your third eye. Yoga teaching, you can really use that intuition and instinct to create the best moment for your students. So sometimes I really like to think of when I wake up in the morning, I try to feel the energy of the world or of the society around me. What is happening in the world? What do people need today? And really take it class by class and day by day. Sometimes I have this flow planned, I'm inspired, and then I come into the room and I see all the students around me and I go, oh, I don't think this flow is going to help them as much as they need. I think they need something completely different. And in that moment, I start to listen to myself and go, okay, I think they need to relax. I think people are feeling stressed. Maybe something happened in the news and people are feeling worried. When it was happening with COVID, you could start to see a lot of anxiety coming out. And maybe they didn't need the super energizing flow. Maybe they needed to just reconnect with themselves and slow down their energy and slow down their thoughts. So listen to those energetic vibes around you, feel their vibration, and create the class accordingly. There are some teachers that like to follow the cycle of the moon, natural cycles that inspires them to really give back to the people what the nature is saying around them. So whatever speaks to you, whatever you feel, you can give. Use that kind of instinct, feel it, focus on it, and then just let it come through you. There's times where I didn't exactly prepare my class, but the moment I sat down and started thinking, the words just started coming out instantly. As if the energy, especially if you feel this energy of the divine, is going to come into you. And if you just let it happen, it's going to come out of you naturally. You're going to start to do poses and give words in a flow that's really speaking to the present moment. And yoga is all about that. It is all about that present moment. And you, as a yoga teacher, you are making sure you are giving the best present moment you can. So I hope this gives you some inspiration, some tips and tricks. Feel free to comment down below if you have any questions or any other ideas that you as a yoga teacher or practitioner like. I love when students tell me, oh, I love it when you did that. Oh, I love it when you use this word. It really spoke to me. Share those ideas and topics and just let us spread this beautiful energy all around. So thank you so much. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want any more tips on yoga teacher training or yoga techniques. And I will see you soon. Bye.